How I wrote that song, thanks to our sponsors, HD Radio, BMI, and Beasley Media Group. My name is Andy Summers from Philly's Country Station 92.5 XTU, and I'm super excited to have our guest on today, Tyler Hubbard.
Hey, Andy, how are you?
Doing so great. It's so good to see you, and congratulations on all of your success.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you chatting with me, and I'm feeling good. I really appreciate that.
Good deal. So where are you right now, Tyler?
I am sitting in my backyard here in Nashville, and just stepped out of the house from taking care of these kiddos. So thanks for letting us chat so I could get a breather out here.
There you go. This is all about that for sure. So I follow your family on Facebook, and you guys and Instagram and all of it, and you guys just seem to be having such a great time. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah, life is good. I'm feeling really excited and re-energized and just more grateful than probably ever before. So yeah, there's a lot of joy running around this house, and I'm really thankful for it.
That's tremendous. All right, so let's get into it. So I said congratulations, but I really mean it because I was just reading that when your first single, 5'9", went to #1, Tyler, you became the first male country artist, formerly in a country duo, to hit #1 as a solo artist, which is pretty amazing when you think about that.
Yeah, that's really cool, and I'm still pretty blown away by that, and man, it's just inspired me even more to keep this thing going, and it's reminded me of the love and support that I have, and I'm feeling that 100%. And as a creative, it just makes me that much more energized, that much more fueled, and ready to. I've already gotten back in the studio making more music, and I'm just my creative juices are flowing, and I'm feeling the support. So thank you for that, and the fans of radio and everyone, my team, everybody who's made it happen. And it's just been awesome. So we're in a good place, and we're carrying that momentum to the next project.
Yeah, fantastic. And it sounds great. So your next song is Dancing in the Country. But I want to talk to you about the whole process because this is all relatively new. I feel like up until this point, you've always been part of a team. So when you decided to go solo and do this on your own, what was the most surprising thing that you found about kind of going at it alone?
Ultimately, actually, I really felt I was surprised by how much freedom I felt and how invigorated I was and re-energized. And, it really came unexpected for me. It was something that I never thought would, I always thought I'd be in a band, and this was something that BK initiated and wanted to do. And so I went with it. And I would say at the beginning, there was some fear, a little bit of fear there, and just the unknown and, maybe not feeling supported and equipped. But once I found my team and my people and felt that support and, the resources that I needed to succeed, it felt like, okay, I started to process it and dive into it. And it was a lot more, it felt right, and it felt like now looking back, it's like, man, I'm so thankful to be here. I'm excited to be where I'm at. And I think that's probably the biggest surprise just because I didn't see this coming, but I'm thankful it did.
Yeah, I would think that having your name on the project rather than a team or a group adds a lot more layers to it, right? Like there's probably a lot more pressure, but you probably can take a lot more pride in what you're doing as well.
100%. You nailed it. I mean, there is more pressure, especially with the first album. I really wanted to be intentional with telling my story and introducing myself as an individual as opposed to a band. And it was cool after being in the band for 10 or 12 years, it's cool for us to both have this opportunity to connect with the fans on a more personal level. And that's exactly what this music does. But it also means you do have to be more vulnerable. You have to be more real. You have to be more intentional in writing and picking songs. And so that there's a little bit of added pressure, but also an added reward. So you nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about Dancing in the Country. That's our song that we're going to be focusing on today. So I heard that this was inspired by some at-home dance parties in the Hubbard household.
Ultimately, it was, we when you have 3 kids running around, and yeah, every night we were having dance parties, and we still do quite a bit. But as a songwriter, I was always observing like what makes these kids move, like what makes these kids want to listen to these songs over and over and over. And a lot of times it was just the simple fun songs that they just wanted to hear, And so I went to the writing room that day and basically said, let's just write something like that makes the kids want to dance. That's fun and lighthearted and up tempo. And that was sort of the target. That was the dartboard. And I hung it up, and Ross and John Knight and Keith, they all nailed it. You know, we had a great day, and sure enough, we understood the assignment, as the kids say, and got it done. So it was fun.
I always say if you can write a song that makes a kid sing or dance or makes a woman cry, then it's going to be a number one. So you're good to go.
Thanks. Checks the boxes. One of them, please.
Absolutely. So tell to me, the Keith that you mentioned is Keith Urban. He's credited as a co-writer on this. What is it like working with him?
It's awesome. Keith is, such a legend and one of my heroes, somebody I've looked up to for a long time. And to get to have a friendship now with him and to get to work and be creative is such a cool experience. And he's just amazing. He's so talented. He has great instinct. And so he's really inspiring to be in a room with. And it's something that I really value about living in this town and getting to co-write with other writers and producers and artists. Because everybody brings their strengths to a room, and when the puzzle fits together and everybody's strengths is just clicking, it's a really special thing, and that's how that day kind of went.
Yeah. So is there a big difference when you write with different people? I would imagine that you were used to one situation when you were with that GL writing with BK and that sort of thing. And then is it totally different when you move on to someone else, or have you always kind of been a collaborator?
Well, since I've been in Nashville, I've always co-written. I still write by myself occasionally, just solo, just by myself to kind of flex and practice that muscle, and work that muscle. But there's something beautiful about having co-writers and getting to share, a creative day and getting to pour into a song together. And I always wrote. I was always in a band, but I still wrote by myself and wrote with different people, separately from BK. So nothing's really shifted in that sense. I still show up, um, you know, 2 or 3 days a week, 3 or 4 days a week, to a room, and a lot of times I know the guys and I've written with them for years, and sometimes it's new writers, and there's always a different dynamic, and no day's the same, so it really makes it fun.
Yeah. I also read that when you left Florida Georgia Line, you really thought that you were just going to focus on songwriting. So what brought you back to the stage and back into the spotlight?
It all kind of feeds one another. I love writing songs because I've learned that I love making albums, and I love making albums because I love playing shows, which takes me back to the love of writing songs. And so when you take the other two things out of the equation, although it's great and I could probably be content staying in Nashville and just being a songwriter and being a dad, but I really miss just the connection with the fans and being able to make albums and projects and be creative and express who I am and connect with people in that way.
Yeah. Well, you do it so well, and we're so happy to have you. Tyler Hubbard, thank you so
Thank
much and
you.
continued success. We're big fans.
Thanks, Andy. I appreciate you chatting with me, and we'll talk again soon.
Sounds great. How I wrote that song again, thanks to our sponsors HD Radio, BMI, and Beasley Media Group.